The force of evil plans to make you its possession. And it will if we let it destroy everybody. We all must take precautionary measures. If love and peace you treasure, then you'll hear me when I say, oh, that love is in need of love today. So don't delay, send yours in right away. Hey, 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 hate's going round, it's breaking many hearts. Yes, it is. Stop it, please, before it's gone too far. Yeah, yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, family. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Mental House. I am your host, Khadijah. I had to take a little break because not only was my email kind of inundated with uh, texts and emails from race soldiers, I just knew that it was time for me to really look at this narcissistic mental illness that we talk about from a whole different perspective, from a real live, real natural, unhypocritical perspective. So first, I want to give my condolences to the officers, the families of those officers in Dallas. And because this is all the hate that hate is producing. And it's not the way out. I keep saying we can only operate out of love or fear. And the whole, what it is white people, y'all operating out of fear. You operating out of fear. And as a Caucasian, if you can't even admit that, you can't even admit that white supremacy has to be replaced with a system of justice. The system of white supremacy has to be knocked down. And it's destroying everybody. You can't continue to have people operate as if they are superior, and then have some people operating off the stimulus that they are inferior. Again, that's feeding off of it's a narcissistic supply. The black and brown and red people have been a supply for, sorry to tell you, Europeans, but it's pretty much what we've been. And you, in turn, instead of looking at the ugly, insane history and taking ownership and responsibility for the damage that you've done to people, not just black people, people all over the diaspora, you continue to fight and band together like most narcissists do with the flying monkeys, and you begin to deflect. You begin to blame. You blame Black Lives Matter. You blame Barack Obama. You blame, this is insanity, as opposed to blaming your history, your vicious, cruel, mean, evil history that you have inflicted on America and people of color in general, and you refuse to look at that as a mental illness. And the reason why I'm saying that, because I saw an experiment with Jane Elliott, and this is why I have to come out with this. There's two things I had to really say. I remember when I worked at a camp. First of all, there was a little child there, a little boy. He was about 8, and he was physically challenged. He was all bent down, and he was really going. He was really physically disabled. And when he was going to be in my cabin, so I went to introduce myself and talk with him, and the first thing he said was, "Ugh, you're black. Are you mean? Are you going to hurt me? I don't like black people because they steal and they fight and they do mean things to people." And all this venom spitting out of this child's mouth that looked like a pretzel bent up in a chair. No disrespect. And I said, what the? So his father, who was maybe a few feet away, came over there because he heard us interacting. And his son kept going at it. He didn't stop. He was like, and black people steal when they hit people and so I said, well, we're going to have fun at this camp. By this time, this guy is coming into, I can see him on my peripheral vision. I said, well, we're going to have fun at this camp, whether you're black or white. We're going to have fun here, so you don't have to worry about that. So his father interjected, blank, I said his name. Oh, I don't know where he gets that from. I don't know why. The kid turned around so honestly and he said, I get it from you, Dad. I get it from you. You told me that about black people. You should have seen the look on that guy's face. His face turned red from the neck up, and it was just like I was looking at an apple. I was like, okay. So that lets us all know that mental illness is a learned behavior. It's a mental illness. It's a learned behavior. Okay? So once this is what stuck in my mind, and I keep myself open-minded when I'm dealing with this kid, because I knew he was very racist, but he had been taught that. So then I flash forward and I saw an experiment with Jane Elliott. A lot of you guys are familiar with her. She did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment back in the 60s. And an experiment that she got from Hitler. And she used it. Oh boy, did she use it to perfection. And watch the class just spew hatred towards one another because of the blue-eyed and the brown-eyed conception. Even though they were all white. Well, she stood up. She had an all-Caucasian audience, and she stood there and she says, okay, who will want to be treated the way black people are today in society? Raise your hand. Nobody budged. She said, oh, I don't think you guys heard me. I said, I want to know who would want to be treated the way black people are treated today in society. Who? Raise your hand. She said, oh. So what that tells me is that you know. So the question becomes, then why are you so willing to be complicit? Oh my God. To let this happen to them. When you clearly know, it's wrong. Wow. Now, is that narcissism? You don't want to look at it on that level, do you? All you out there in the narcissistic community, you don't want to look at it like that. Right? That, oh boy, we don't want to see the world through black people's eyes. We don't want to lose our privilege. So that's why when I meet white people, I put them into 3 boxes. Some of them they're ignorant. They don't know. So it's fine. Some of them know and they get it. People like John Brown, people like Jane Elliott, Tim Wise, they get it. And they have to debunk this racism. And they don't mind opening up their mouths and put it out in the universe that black people are being mistreated. So they get it. It's the second type. And then there's the third one that operates fine under constructs of white supremacy. In fact, it's a religion, and they will do everything to protect their religion. even to put you to death, and the flying monkeys will be complicit. They will be fine with you being put to death under a structure and a system that they know is wrong. And they wouldn't will they're saying with their own mouths, I wouldn't want to be treated that way. Okay, so what you have here is narcissistic personality disorder. That's why it's out the DSM, because it's all over you. And when I encounter Caucasians, I have to assume that they are race soldiers and that they are racist. That's how I have to assume that until I interact with them, kind of hear what comes out of their mouth, kind of deal with them, and then watch their actions. Okay? Damn what come out of their mouth, but I watch the actions to see if the two match. So when you have a group of flying monkeys sitting in the audience and they're all Caucasian, and you're asking a question, who would want to be treated the way black people are treated, that means it's obvious that they know that something is wrong with the way that we're being treated. They obviously know, and they don't give a damn. That's a problem. So as human beings, we have to understand the difference between education and indoctrination. Most of these people have been indoctrinated with a spirit of white supremacy. They think they are better. They think that they are superior, and they think that we are inferior, even though history shows everything to the contrary. The history books are all lies. White people know it. The white supremacists know it. But they don't even want to replace it with the truth. In fact, they will fire anybody, call out the dogs, discredit anybody that wants to speak the truth to white supremacy. Now, if that's not the biggest brain and mind screw, I don't know. I mean, I can't think of nothing so crazier. So to me, prejudice is an emotional response to ignorance. Let me say that again. Prejudice is an emotional response to ignorance. That didn't come from me. I can't remember who said it, but that's the most profound statement that I think that appealed to me. Because some of you that are race soldiers, you know what is happening to us. And you can see narcissism everywhere else, but you can't see it in how you relate and deal with the African American, you, or the Latino, Native American. You are quite comfortable with us being narcissistic supply for white supremacy. You are quite comfortable with knowing that we are being mistreated constantly. We've had all our wealth stolen from us, and you flaunt it in our face, from our ancestors to yours. So now you have generational wealth from our ancestors' free labor. You don't think that all of this stuff, all this cell memory in our DNA is looking at you, because we have to suppress who we are because of your mental illness. Because when you're confronted with your mental illness, then you start talking about black on black crime, start talking about stuff that has nothing to do with you, as if you were concerned about black on black crime. You're never concerned about it until black people start talking about being shot down and killed by a police force that brutalizes them. Then you guys want to bring up stupid stuff. Well, you guys shoot each other, or just a bunch of madness that lets you know that anybody that studies narcissism is projection. It's they start the smear campaign. If a black person gets shot, the first thing they'll start to do, well, he had a record, and in 1950 something, he beat this stuff that has nothing to do with you shooting this person sitting here. All the projection, the smear campaign, all that's narcissistic. The flying monkeys that do the bidding for white supremacy. So I'm here to address y'all in one shape in this way. Hope, in my opinion, is to try to hold on to the positive energy. I try to hold on to the positive energy in spite of all the negative going on around me. One thing I won't do is I won't live in denial, though. I won't live in denial that most Caucasian people are mentally ill. They have subscribed to a system that is unjust, untrue, and just downright mentally ill, that would allow them to take advantage of other people, steal from other people, and do everything that they claim that these people doing, they have done to these people for over 400 years. And nobody wants to walk a mile in the moccasin of the red man, or walk a mile in the moccasin of the brown man. Walk a mile, more importantly, than in the moccasins of the black man. You know, it's a straight up mind screw. White supremacy is the problem. Race soldiers are out here performing murders on black and brown people. Okay? You say make America what it was. What is that? Before the Mexican-American War, before you stole, the California and all that from the Mexicans. I mean, tell me what that means. Is make it like it was. Was it when the native roamed the land, when you couldn't see a white face? Is that what you want to make America back to? Because I think that you all need to study your history. And you don't want to study your history, is leading me to believe that you do not want to replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. And until we do, we're going to perish as fools. Because we can't live together with people that don't want to share the wealth back with us that they stole. And they want to continue to murder us and kill us and pretend as if we don't matter. Mind over matter. We don't mind because y'all black asses don't matter. And that has just got to stop. My condolences to everybody that was killed in this race war. That's what I call it. From the police officers that were shot down, and definitely to the catalyst to starting them getting shot down, to that little girl who had to watch her daddy shot down by the police in the car. Every time I think about that, I think about my children, my grandchildren. It hurts me. I hope that child's mind, now I know there's another mind destroyed by white supremacy. And we love our children just as much as you love yours, contrary to what you think. So, I know that we have to replace prejudice. We have to replace it. We have to replace it with love. Okay? And we have to replace the system of white supremacy with a system of justice. Alright. If you like what you hear, please subscribe. I'm going to go now, and I will see you all next time in the Mental House. Bye-bye.